Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. How is everybody doing out there? Oh, sorry, technical difficulties. Good morning. How's everybody doing out there? Brandon Alvarado, Scarlet fan here. I am very excited to be back with you live to talk awesome anime here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast. It is time to get back on Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, Episode 9. Oh, holy crap. A lot of things happens in this episode. We're very excited to talk about it. As usual, I'm not here by myself. I am accompanied by the one and only, the Flashball Punster, Isaac Wolf. What is up, man?
Yeah, it's going good. I'm just exhausted, but that's nothing new.
um, a lot of demon fighting late at night. Is that what has you exhausted?
Oh my.
I mean, you're the Flash. You live a flashy life, don't you? Uh,
Yeah, we can say that, yeah.
but yeah, we're back here. We're excited. We're going to talk Demon Slayer, Entertainment District Arc, Episode 9, titled Defeating an Upper Rank Demon. This episode, so much happened in this episode. There's a lot to cover. Um, if you love what we do here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, make sure you click on that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon on our YouTube channel so you do not miss any streams. You do not miss any coverage of Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, or whatever weekly podcast and show we're covering. We put up great content every single week, a lot of reviews, thoughts, and reactions. Make sure you follow us so you don't miss anything on our YouTube channel. The Amateur Otaku. If you love hearing podcasts, go to our podcast channel. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, wherever podcasts are found. You can find the Amateur Otaku Pod. But hey, you guys are not here just to find out where you can find us. You're here to talk some Demon Slayer. So Isaac, oh wow! For an episode, of course, last week's episode was intense. This week's episode just elevated the stakes. Like, if we thought the stakes are high, they're higher now. um, what were your general thoughts of this episode?
I need to know the budget for this anime. Seriously, I need to know the budget because holy shit.
So beautiful. Like, every episode is like, you can tell that there's money involved because everything looks gorgeous and it's like movie quality or higher. Now, it's funny that you say that because one of the statistics, I found this statistic. I've been watching a lot of Attack on Titan videos, and you know how much each Attack on Titan episode cost, at least for this final season?
Uh,
Give me a
tr-
number. Give me a number.
4 mil if you convert it yen to US dollar, that is.
How much?
4 mil. I don't know how much in yen it would be, but if you go by converting for USD, maybe 4 million.
No, well, not that much, but I was reading like it's almost $150,000 US for every episode, which is
I
a lot
can
of
see
money.
that.
Which is a lot of money. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's how much each episode of the Demon Slayer costs. And it's funny that you mentioned that because now I want to check it out. What how much is Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer costs per episode. Let's see. Let me see if they give us a number. Uh so it says that each episode is approximately 80 to 90,000 US dollars, which it's the equivalent of 9 to 10 million yen per episode, which is like, it's crazy. But now that I read this, I'm like, okay, so that means I'm not surprised, of course, that Attack on Titan's budget is greater than Demon Slayer's, but that's a lot of money. I mean, the good thing is that we're seeing the money on screen, right? Because you can
Yeah.
tell that they're spending it and what they need to spend it. because like we can agree that the story points and the voice acting, like everything else on Demon Slayer, is pretty much on point. It's a great story. We have very good characters, even though we all know that you kind of hate Zenitsu, but I think he's redeeming himself, especially when he's asleep, which that's kind of weird. Very
Like Inosuke says, as far as I know, I would love him to be constantly asleep. That would
oh
make
my
his
god.
character so much better.
That will never sound right. It will always sound weird and dirty. But yes, let him stay asleep. But we can see that all the money is spent, a lot of the money is spent on the visuals. So I really hope that these artists are getting paid their fair share, because they're blowing everything else that we've seen out of the water. Of course, Attack on Titan is very different, and Attack on Titan's budget is also another anime that we can see that the budget's on the screen. It looks great and beautiful. But yeah, Demon Slayer is, like we've always said, is one of the most stylized shows, and it shows. And this is one of this. It's one of the episodes where we see that. Um, but yeah, the biggest thing to me was like the stakes are higher. Like, did you notice how we thought that it was a hard adversary that they were fighting before, when we found out that the upper six demon is divided into two different demons. I call them the upper six siblings, I would say. Um, but
Yeah, that
now,
sounds about
everything's
right.
worse. Everything's worse now. And I like how this episode did a lot of character. I like how this episode, apart from the fact that by the end of it, all the stakes are even higher. I love how this episode does a great job in showing us how much our characters have grown, right? Like there was a lot of character growth in this episode, and I like that about it. Um, what was your favorite part of the episode?
How should I put it? I, don't, I honestly don't know what's my favorite part of it. They are very. They know how to utilize every character, if that makes any sense.
Right.
And I like how, dare I say, how creative Inosuke was when he saw off the head of the demon that constantly get decapitated.
Yeah, that's one way of decapitating a demon. Yeah. Are you there?
I'm there. It
No.
was the thing I was gonna say before you. Letting the baton going back to you.
So yeah, so the whole Inosuke idea of sawing the head off was actually pretty interesting, pretty funny, and pretty radical too. But I like that it's like a technique that's very fitting to him. Like I like how these characters, especially because of their fighting styles, which I think we talked about it a little bit when we started covering the Entertainment District arc last week. What we like about it is that every single fighter has a very, 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 very unique style. Like it's like ridiculously unique, right? And how, because you only get these certain amount of characters, you don't get, like, it doesn't get diluted in like, oh no, there's a bunch of demon slayers, you know what I mean? Like, no, 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 we're following these very specific group of people. They all have very, very unique abilities, and I like how they're all growing in their own way. Like Sanitsu, you kind of see him more focused and really into the battle, which I like about it. I like the fact that we haven't really seen him whine once since the fight started, which to me it's perfect. The whole thing with
I
Inosuke and his
said,
little
like
friend.
me and Inosuke says, he should be asleep constantly.
I think you need to stop saying that. It sounds worse every time you say it. But also Tanjiro and the whole thing. I love the fact that we throughout this fight we seen Tanjiro's fighting style evolve constantly. And I want to point out, isn't it great that we're in a place where we care so much about the story and the end game, that we no longer need 10 episodes in one battle to show a different transformation. Like, I kind of like that we don't have to do that anymore. You know what I mean? It's not like Dragon Ball Z days where the whole transformation or the whole Henki Dama, like it took us like 5 episodes just to get that Sperry bomb done. You know what I mean? I kind of like that. There's no more filler like that.
Yeah.
I like that in the matter of what? In a matter of 4 episodes, Tanjiro as a fighter has evolved drastically from using only the water base, trying the Hinokum Kagura, and then the idea that we were able to be with him in his mind as he's developing his own technique, not just by switching among both styles, but also about him combining the styles to make his own, which to me is awesome because not only does it look cool, not only is it says a lot about his character because we both know that this is not something that comes out of nowhere. Like from the beginning of the show, Tanjiro has always been very very intelligent and very crafty, right? He's always been very resourceful in finding
Yeah.
solutions and finding ways. So we know that this is one of his character traits. It's part of his personality. Of course, driven by his desire to save lives, right? Driven by his desire to save his sister and all that stuff. But all these things, how he's always like on the top of his game, and how he's always finding a way to excel in anything he can. And I like how he figured out a way. And then I like how it goes to the point where he goes like he begins to understand, oh, so this is how the top guys get to that point by doing this. And like how everything clicks with him, but also how it all clicks with us as it's clicking with him. So it kind of we kind of have that connection with him as an audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. I kind of like having that relationship with Tanjiro where he's like, it's kind of like a fourth wall break. And I find that very exciting, especially in the midst of the battle and how it develops, because it doesn't feel forced. It feels organic. Um, do you feel that way, or do you think I'm just reading too much on it?
I'm thinking you're on point.
Um, I wonder. Now the big thing is, I don't know how long. I think the manga is what, like 60 something chapters, is it, or volumes? How many volumes? Let me see. How many volumes? Have you read the manga as a whole or no?
I'm currently reading the manga, actually.
Let me see. So how many volumes is it? So because each volume normally has like 4 chapters, right? That's the more or less the routine. So we got 23 volumes. So it's 23 volumes of Demon Slayer, which means that they have, if we take that number by 4, it's almost 120 chapters, something like that, or 100 chapters. So what I wonder now is, because we're seeing so much growth in Tanjiro's character, especially how he's developing and growing his fighting technique. And I like that every arc that we've seen, like like everything we saw in season 1, in Mugen Train, I like that every time he's been victorious or has been able to achieve something, it's because he finds a way with the tools that he has, right? It's not like a Deus Ex Machina, you know what I mean? It's always something that he figures out with his own style or with help. I I kind of worry that there might be a thing where he's gonna hit a wall very soon because there's a lot of development, or is there like there's a lot of development happening very fast. So I wonder if it's gonna get to a point where there's not going to be that much space to grow. I hope it doesn't happen, but is it wrong for me to have that fear?
I'm not gonna. I don't know how I should tell you, considering
All right, you're
I'm reading.
But do you understand where I'm coming from? Because
Yeah,
it
I
like
can understand where I'm
in
coming
Mugen
from.
Train and in this one, like he's growing a lot and like very fast. So I'm really interested to see how he continues to grow. and I wonder how the writers find a way to keep it interesting. So that's another thing that has me very enticed and everything. So um so yeah, so we have the whole thing with Tanjiro growing, Inosuke being able to cut them working together. I love the idea that they have grown so much as a team, especially when we see them, all three of them, taking Daki and able to get her head off. Right, um,
Yeah.
that was awesome because I love seeing them grow as a team. I love the
So
idea of
give it to the duel leader.
what?
Like I said, it's a give a job to the duel leader.
Oh my god. But yeah, it was great seeing them grow as a team and get to that. Um, now I the two big twists. I don't want to say it's a twist, but the two big things that happen at the end of the episode. So, guys, if you guys haven't seen the episode, you really shouldn't be listening to this podcast at all. But I just want to do this as a as a little announcement, spoilers, because there's two big things that happen towards the end of the episode that literally increase the stakes by like 1,000. Like it's over 9,000 in terms of stakes. I'm sorry, Isaac. I couldn't help my
Upon here.
yeah, I couldn't help myself. But so Inosuke thinks that the best way to ensure that he defeats Daki is that after he cuts her head off, he grabs her head and starts running away to as far as he can with his head, right?
I
And
mean, it makes sense.
yeah, he's channeling his inner football player and running towards the end zone. Um, and because you got to think about it, there's kind of like a jock, like a high school jock stereotype on Inosuke, right? Like in the way he thinks of
Kinda.
things. Like so, there's a little bit of that, like the little jock soccer type, like he's a football player. Oh, like it's all brute or whatever. Um, you know what? It's official. Inosuke is probably based on a football player, and you know what? That's the hill that I'm going to die on. So he's
You know
running
what's
towards the
funny?
yeah.
His English voice actor is the same English voice actor for Eren in Attack on Titans, Bryce Paperbook.
You know what would be interesting? That it would have been Reiner because he just smashes everything like a football
Eh,
player. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Um, but yes,
good.
so Inosuke is running towards the end zone to follow the American dream, and out of nowhere he is attacked by Daki's brother. Which do we know his name? Does he have a name? I,
You. I can't.
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing a name for him because I know Daki was
Yeah, Gyotaro.
Gyotaro. Okay, and then Gyotaro appears out of nowhere and literally stabs Inosuke in the back. So he pierces his back. Like we don't know if he got his heart or his lungs or whatever. So now Inosuke has been fatally wounded because the drama against that stab literally makes you think that he's fatally wounded. Not only that, he's been poisoned now because we know that the scythes that he has have poison. And then suddenly Tanjiro looks around and goes like, "What happened? Where's Tengen?" And Tengen's on the floor, overcome with poison and without a hand. So technically, it's just Zenitsu and Tanjiro against him because at any point in time, Gyotaro could take Dabi's head and put it upon Dabi again, like he did the first time. But the stakes are higher now because now there's no longer Hashira that's able to fight. Um, and Inosuke is down for the count, kind of. So I find it funny that that the name of the episode is defeating an upper ranked demon, but all we see is the ground being set for them to be defeated by him. Or
Yeah.
which by the way, we gotta understand, we got what, two more episodes now? We only got 2 more episodes in the season.
And the
So
last episode is going to be 45 minutes long, if the report is correct.
there's a lot going. There's a lot to expect here. Now, I kind of like the idea that they're setting up Tanjiro to be the one that takes him down, which of course is kind of what we want, right? Because it wouldn't be the first time that he fights an upper rank demon, because we know that he faced one of the lower demons, but of the one of the lower rank demons, which was the spider one, right? And he beat him.
Yeah.
He's a lot stronger now, so now it's gonna be between him and that. I like the idea that now that Tanjiro has been able to concentrate and bind his two styles together, now he may be a more formidable opponent for Gyutaro. Um, but I kind of feel bummed out because I don't want Tengen to die. I don't want this victory to have that kind of bittersweet ending. You know what I mean? Like, we've already lost Renjoku. Do we need to lose another Hashira now? Kind of don't want that to happen. And even and now, but at the same time, maybe this is the foreshadow. Maybe that's why we had that foreshadowing with one of his wives when he talked when the other when what's her name, Hinatsune is her name, I think.
Yeah.
She talks about after defeating an upper rank demon that they are to go quietly and like leave the life, right? Maybe this is the way that they set up that where they are able to where they're able to retire to a life of peace. Um, because you got to think after this, even if Tengen survives, he can't really fight with the same aptitude that he did before because he lost the hand, right? Especially when his style is a dual wielder, he can no longer dual wield. Um, you know, but I don't know. It's gonna be
Unless they have protest, as long as they don't have protests. What's the call in English?
prosthetics.
The prosthetics. Thank you.
It's Edo Japan. They can barely turn on a light bulb.
It's Edo Japan when containing demons.
I know, but there's no steampunk on for metal elements. It's a different show, Isaac. He lost the hand. He ain't getting it back, okay? unless he's I don't know, maybe he becomes a demon. Maybe, no, we're not gonna do that. I don't think he's ever gonna do that. I hope he doesn't do that. Damn it! Now I'm worried. No, he's not gonna do that. But yeah, but I kind of don't want. Stop laughing. I kind of don't want. I don't want to lose another Hashira because then this show is great, but there's a lot of sadness in this show, and I think we need a little break from all the sadness and hardship. But then again, maybe I'm being a little bitch because Demon Slayer is a very emotional show. I don't want no more emotions, Isaac.
And I'm not gonna say anything considering I read the manga. So.
Now, do you feel that this cliffhanger was what it needed to be? Because I'm gonna be honest, this is one of the best it was one of the better cliffhangers. It was so good. Like, and I also liked how go ahead.
I was just laughing at the cliffhanger because they know what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah. No, and you know what's the best thing about it too is like I don't know if you noticed that throughout the Entertainment District arc, at the end of the credits, when they do the preview, they've been doing like a joke preview where they have like Tengen doing like funny things with all three of them or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
This one didn't do it. This one was like simple, dry. It was like look into the despair in Tanjiro's mind, like, can I do this? And then the episode's name, Do Not Give Up. And it, you know what I mean? Like they did a good job and not undercutting the tension with the preview. Like they probably did before because of the different episodes. So I like how the tension is up high and we're like, okay, we're ready for the next episode. Give it to me now. But yeah, man, another solid episode. It was great. It was just great.
Agreed.
I wonder how it's gonna. I wonder how the visuals are gonna change and continue to evolve with Tanjiro's style as he continues to blend the water breathing and the sun breathing styles. I wonder what he's gonna call it. Um,
He,
I'm an
o-
idiot.
he only needs Earth and Wind now, and
He's gonna be the
and it's a
Avatar.
perfect. Yeah, someone needs to do that when Mike's not around.
Avatar Tanjiro. Um, damn it! Now we got to get Mike involved in one of these Demon Slayer reviews so he can bring all this Avatar knowledge. Um, oh man, that's so bad. That is so bad. But yeah, man. These are our thoughts. Do you have anything else? I think I've said everything I
No,
wanted to say.
I said everything.
Guys, there was another solid Demon Slayer episode. I hope you guys loved it as much as we did. We can't wait for the next episode because we're the tensions are high, the stakes are high. Will Tanjiro defeat the upper six siblings? I don't know. I love the show. It looks great, and I can't wait for next week's episode. Again, share your thoughts and ideas of this episode, questions that you may have, send them on the comment section below, and we'll definitely answer it on the comment sections, or we'll answer it on next week's episode if you have any questions or comments about what's going on. And make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel, subscribe, and click on that like button, and click on the bell for notifications so you do not miss our takes and review of the next Demon Slayer episode of the Entertainment District arc next week. Remember, episode 10, don't give up. We'll see you next time, guys. Have it awesome. Peace.
Peace.